Hey, good afternoon. What's up? Good morning for some. Good afternoon for those who are on the East Coast. I'm SVP Aaron Gutterman, and welcome. Welcome to TLG-GT Live every Tuesday now. We're switching everything to Tuesday. There's your first announcement. We are going to permanently move this show to Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, just to allow room for the pivots that TLG puts in place for us for the TLG lives that they're doing currently on Monday, which we are slaying. If y'all missed yesterday's event with Vice President Nelson Alvarez, go back. Once you have access to Workplace, go back and watch it. For those of you that are aspiring and growing through Tier 3, his command of subject matter for live transfers is untouched. He's absolutely slaying it. He's killing it. Go back. You can find it in the HQ as far as Workplace goes, and listen to it. Listen to it. Put it on repeat. Take notes. And for those of you that are swimming between Tier 2 and 3, add it. Add it to your inventory. Add it to your toolbox. Add it to your repertoire, and go crush Tier 3 live transfers. We're on a mission. We're on a roll. Today, man, we've got roughly 2 days, 1.5 days left of this month. And as I stated yesterday on the call, we don't run up to the finish line. We run through the finish line. So y'all get your leads, get your activity up, make dial set same days and next days, and y'all push hard all the way through Wednesday night, midnight, and let's create some massive momentum. One, to end this month, but two, into next month. You know, as we're rolling into September, you want to take momentum into September. We're going to be getting and planning and putting our goals together for September as well. First and foremost, we have the Leadership Retreat. This is the last month for qual for Leadership Retreat. We've got a house we rented out at the beach in the Outer Banks at Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. If you're close, like I'm talking, if you're close, you got a day and a half. Push hard. Put in the extra time, ask for help, ask for support, from those around you to push and make sure that you guys are doing everything you can to get there, because this leadership event is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have a good time. This is why we put this together, and we want to spend that association, that time with you, with all the leaders that are going to be out there. We've already got a ton that qualified. It's going to be a packed house, definitely going to be a packed house, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And man, y'all don't miss this one. When we do events, and this event was announced almost 3-4 months ago, and the guidelines were fairly simple to hit. You just had to be willing to put in the work. When we do things like this, guys, you don't miss out. Make us double up on our offers. We should have so many people going that I had to rent 2 damn houses on top of my own beach house. This is what we want to do for you, but you have to reciprocate the effort and just push and go hard. And that's really all it really takes. So, get into great habits. It's important, when we talk about the 8 steps to success, and engaging in these trainings, engaging in these boot camps, engaging in things, it's important to practice all 8 steps. But we're going to get to that. I do want to talk about the Fall GT Sales Summit. The Fall GT Sales Summit is coming up in October 25th. It's going to be a couple days after the Leadership Retreat. We'll come back here and we're going to put on one hell of an event. If you haven't registered for this event yet, register. Go to TLGGT.com, click on Fall Sales Summit, and get to this event as fast as possible. All right. Moving on to our TLG-GT Week 4 top 10 agents for the week. All right, number 10, we have Chad Gutterman sitting with 4 applications for $3,864. Number 9, Ruben Rodriguez, 5 apps for $3,931. I think we should, no, that's right. Number 8, Jessica Lopez, 6 apps for $5,509. Number 7, we've got Mark Spears, 6 apps for $5,862. Number 6, Lateef Duncan, 6 applications for $5,882. Number 5, Paul Spala, 3 applications for $6,029. Killing it, Paul. Number 4, Jared Lyford, 5 applications for $6,820. Number 3, Megan Sorley, 8 applications for $7,508. Number 2, Danielle Lyford, 5 applications for $7,643. And number 1, Nelson Alvarez, with 17 applications for $19,028 in 1 week. Some of you are like, I want to be a 20K producer for the month. And Nelson's over here like, why don't you aspire to be a 20K producer for the week? I mean, after all, it's just work. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those of you who are like, well, I want to make 100K a year. I want to make 200 or 300K a year. But your decisions and your desires have to match up to your actions and your willingness to sacrifice time in versus time out. It's important, team. You know what? Now I'll go back to it. Going and talking about these habits that it takes to be a pillar in this industry. We put out those 8 steps. And if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what the 8 steps to success is, go to my YouTube channel, look at the lives, follow the one that says 8 steps to success and rewatch it. But one of those 8 steps is attend all meetings, such as our Monday lives, our Tuesday shows right now, and if you can't watch them live, it's important that you watch them later. And I understand, like, if you really put it in your schedule, whatever yours is, and I know some of you have to work throughout the day. We're not hiring all full-time agents. We've got a lot of part-time agents on the team. But if you're not actively engaging on a daily basis in your business, it's going to be hard for you. For example, I've got, my older brother, Chad, dude, he works 2 jobs. I know I talk about him often, but he's a prime example of what it takes to be a good time manager. He still has 3 kids. He attends his son's soccer games. He takes care of his daughters. He's got a beautiful wife at home. He takes care of everything as far as responsibility goes, but yet he still has time to work his job. He still has time to show up for the United States Air Force, and he still has time to show up for his business. Just on Sunday, he wrote $21,455. Why? Like, some of you are gonna be like, well, he was just lucky. He found a client that was willing to spend a lot of money. Yeah, he did. He got 2 clients, 2 doctors, but it's the system. If you stay in long enough into our system, you're going to have those moments of opportunity. You're going to have those moments where it becomes clear and recognize when you're able to take an absolute advantage of opportunity, but you'll never get those chances if you don't stay in motion and you do what it takes in order to receive them. Receivership works 2 ways. Right? We're always transferring frequency, whether you want to call it negative or positive energy, but receivership works 2 ways. If you want to attract positive energy, you got to give it out, man. You got to make sure you're focusing on what you're putting in here on a daily basis. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, you're going to constantly focus on negativity in your life. So, it's important for you to recognize when you're not looking at things with a positive mental attitude. And it's okay. We're human. You can change it at any time, either through association, talking with your mentors, and reading books. Reading books is something you can do on your non-income producing time, your non-IPAs. You can open up a book and read books that will help you with your confidence, your doubt, your fears, your negativity. There's things that you can place in your life and people you can surround yourself with that will help you open yourself up to opportunity. It's like, I know some of you are like, well, why do we have these top producers that write 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 60,000 in premium on a monthly basis? Why can't I do it? That's a question for you. What are you investing? How much time are you clocked in? Are you doing all 8 steps? Are you open to mentorship? If you're open to these things, we're going to steer you and guide you in the right direction, but you've got to reciprocate the effort on a daily basis. Don't expect to have things that most people don't have if you're not willing to do things that most people won't give. And this is the epitome of success. That's the key to the whole daggone kit and caboodle. That's the key to the kingdom, baby. Do what most people aren't willing to do, and you're going to get what most people are never going to have. That's what we teach here. That's what we do. Clock in and put yourself on a new trajectory, on a new plan with us. And it starts with a decision. It starts with the attend all meetings. It starts with this Freedom and Flexibility Sales Conference. I've got the list. Now I'm talking to a lot of you out there. If you haven't registered yet, then you're missing step one, man. You're missing the whole ship. You need to commit to your business so your business will commit to you. If you're not planning, right? If you're not planning to be in Raleigh October 25th, and you are seriously messing up your business. We're going to have everyone who is anyone in this agency there. They're all going to be there to train you on how to do what we do. And even if you think you know most of everything, the association alone, the energy that you're going to receive at this meeting is going to set you to new levels. Guys, you can't deny that when you get around the heat, you catch fire. So if you haven't registered yet, follow the link, register, and get to the event. We're going to feed you if you're worried about, there's travel expenses. They're asking a fee for the event. Yeah, it's for the room and to feed you. That's it. That's what we're geared towards. We want to make sure we room you, feed you, and train you, right? That's what we're looking to do to get you to this event and come out on the other side a brand new agent that's going to be breaking levels of their own as far as income and quality of life. Y'all get to Raleigh October 25th. Get there, sign up, and we'll see you there. So stick around. We've got the top 5 ready to lay it down and lay it out for you. Y'all stick around, take notes, listen. This is the association and training that you've been looking for.
What's going on, TLG? Paul Spalla, Director Mark Spear, Director Aaron, Director Art. Originally from the Hoosier State, but currently living in Raleigh, North Carolina. For the week, I came in 5th place at 3 applications for 6,029 AP. Really all month long, I've been being consistent with, dealing with no-shows, dealing with people that reschedule on me, but also having new lead flow, so I'm able to set meetings, and that's how I was able to write the 3 applications last week. And I use the toolkit a lot. Every time I get a person's medical information, it's happening in the toolkit, but it's just that, it's a tool. Utilizing my upline more heavily recently has allowed me to realize certain underwriting that the toolkit doesn't necessarily pick up on, such as foresters with diabetes. According to Toolkit, one time it said that they were a no-go for strong foundation. I thought that was a little odd, reached out to my upline, and sure enough, they're able to get insured with the carrier. They're just at a prorated rating. That'll increase the monthly premiums just slightly, but they can get coverage. So, if you haven't been reaching out to your upline, almost pretty much every person that you set a meeting with, you're doing yourself an injustice. They've been around longer. They know certain carriers with their underwriting restrictions and what they allow and what they don't allow. That also helps prevent any kickbacks where you write an application, but about 5 days later, the carrier comes back and says they're a no-go, and then you have to pivot at that point in time. So really, besides being consistent, reaching out to upline, that's it. I haven't discovered fire or anything, just maintaining what I have and keeping the momentum going. So keeping this short and sweet for you guys this week. Hope to see the end of the month turn out really well, and let's get it after next month. All right.
Hey GT, Jared Lyford here, Director Aaron Gutterman, who is Director Art Leeser. I was number 4 for the week last week. I wrote 5 applications for 6,820 AP, I believe. So just wanted to tell you a little bit about my week. I wanted to stress to you guys the importance this week of consistency and going the extra mile. So consistency is a big deal in our business. If you are not being consistent, you're going to lose your momentum. All right. So consistency doesn't mean consistently closing, because we all go through patches where we get no's or think about it or whatever, but you're in motion. The most important part of consistency in this business is staying in motion. Because if you lose your momentum, it takes so much more effort and time to get back to where you were. So consistency in your activity, okay? And then going the extra mile. I'm going to give you 2 instances of going the extra mile. One for business, one with clients. So last week I had a client. They had what they thought were 2 $25,000 policies. And let me tell you, nobody knows what kind of policy they have. Nobody knows. They don't even really know what their death benefit is. And this is a perfect example. So I made them go get their policies in the middle of the meeting. Come to find out, both policies were $15,000, not $25,000. So instead of 50, they have 30. Now, to top that all off, there are some shady agents in this business, guys. To top all that off, one of those $15,000 policies was written at a non-tobacco rating when the guy was clearly a tobacco user. And the agent tried to convince him, because he doesn't smoke every day, that he's not a tobacco user. And the agent tried to convince the client of this, not the client the other way around. And the wife was furious when this policy was written, but had forgotten about it, because she said, hey, you need to correct this. You need to turn this into a tobacco rating, because I want to be sure that it pays out. Long story short, never happened. And that guy should not be selling insurance, but I was able to combine those policies into a larger policy. And what I explained to them is, hey, when you're healthy and you have more, that when the death benefit goes up, the cost per thousand goes down. So I was able to get them put into a $30,000 Smart UL for the same price that they were paying for a $15,000 tobacco rating and a $15,000 non-tobacco. So their budget didn't go up at all. And I was able to help them and explain to them, hey, now you also have living benefits. So that's going the extra mile for a client, right? Clients have no idea what they have. Now, the way of going an extra mile in your business is, when you think you're done for the day, do 5 more dials. When you think you're done, just do 5 more. And I'll explain. So it was last Saturday, and I was done with my dials for the day. And you know what? I was like, hey, I'm going to make 5 more dials. Well, guess what? Set an appointment. Same day. And I ended up closing that for over 2,600 AP. So go the extra mile for your clients, but most importantly for yourself. And consistency in your activity. So have a great week, GT. I know you can do this. Let's knock the rest of this month out of the park. Bye.
Hey everybody, it is Megan Sorley, direct to Mark Spear, direct to Aaron, direct to Art. And I am number 3 for the week, yay, at about $7,500 AP on 8 applications. So to even begin to address how I did so well this week, I have to go back to the last 2 weeks, which were not so hot for me. So I think it's really important to start there, because the last 2 weeks have been really bad. I mean, considering I've done about, a little over 3,000 the last 2 weeks. Definitely haven't seen me on the leaderboard, that's for sure. And with a goal of 30,000 for this month, you can imagine that I was not tracking and trending where I wanted to be hitting that goal. So I, over the last 2 weeks, I started getting no-shows, starting getting cancels, reschedules, think about it, just a bunch of things that aren't making me money, right? And I started getting in my head, and I feel like I talk about this like every time I'm on the leaderboard, but it really is so important. Maybe you guys are better at this than me, but for me, it is such a mindset thing. So I started getting in my head, started getting stressed out, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? These people, they keep canceling. Like, is it me? Like, what is happening? And, I just had to kind of separate myself, right? Like, I am an extremely emotional person. So I had to stop myself, I was talking to Chris, my husband, about it, and he was like, well, I mean, are you having second thoughts? Do you want to quit? And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I don't want to quit. I'm just annoyed. And he was like, oh, okay. I just wanted to see where your head was at. And that kind of is like where my head was at. It was like, you know, I was super annoyed, but I never once thought about quitting. I was always going to push through it. I'm just like, you know, venting, and I was annoyed, but I kept on going. That's for sure. I'm not about to stop. And I think that it's important to just know that everybody has crappy weeks or 2 weeks. I mean, like, it's not just going to just, it's not exclusive to the people that are new. Like, and I'm still new, but like, it's not exclusive to the people who are not top producers, right? Like, even top producers have crappy weeks, sometimes a couple of crappy weeks in a row. And it still gets in their head sometimes too, but it's being able to pull yourself out of that and be like, okay, so like for me, when I start getting into my head about just having a lot of things that are not going my way back to back to back, for me, like the longest stint that I had over the last couple of weeks was nine appointments that either no-showed, canceled, rescheduled, or were think about it. And yeah, I mean, by 9 appointments, I was starting to be like, what the heck is going on? But the important thing was, like, I stuck with it. So like after 9 of those, and I'm like starting to get in my head, I had to stop myself, I had to do some meditation, had to do some breath work, and I had to be like, whoa, okay, I am way too emotionally attached to this. And at this point, I'm like repelling any sales for myself because I am annoyed. So kind of what I did, and I remembered something that Aaron has said multiple times before, the quickest way to get out of a funk is to have a win. So, and you know, again, talking to Chris about it, he was like, he's much more logical, grounded, analytical than I am. Like, I'm the emotional, he is the not. And so he was like, it's a numbers game. Like, I get all wrapped up in the emotion of it, and like, you know, I'm feeling it, I'm not feeling it, like this, you know, I just get all wrapped up in the emotions of it. But he was like, separate yourself emotionally and think about it like a numbers game, like law of large numbers, analytics, right? This is his specialty. He was like, if you're not having as much success as you want, dial more, like set more appointments. This is literally the formula they tell us all the time, but it's so true. Like, so I was like, you're right. Like, even though I have had 9 not great ones in a row, there can only be so many more before the law of large numbers brings the success my way. Like, I can't just get no's for eternity. So if I keep going, I'm going to eventually get a yes, and that's going to raise my morale, and then I'm going to feel better about it. And Aaron is totally right in that once you get a win, it does boost your morale. You start to feel better, and then you start getting more wins. That's just kind of how it works, law of attraction. So yeah, so I just like had a mindset reset and was like, okay, law of large numbers, I'm going to start doing more dials, making more sets, and then the more sets that I make, the more people will actually come to their appointments, the more chances I have at getting a yes. And I started getting yeses right after that, actually. So yep, that's what led to that. And I've just been pushing really, really hard towards my goal. I mean, it literally comes down to just the amount of work that you do equals the amount of sales, other than the crappy weeks that are going to be mixed in there. But as long as you keep going and keep trying to, when you are in a funk, like, I'm not at all taking away from the funk, because I am no stranger to the funk. I get in a funk. Also, I have a bunch of people sometimes in a row that are think about it or no shows or reschedules. And, you know, it starts to get in my head too. But once you get out of the funk, and the quicker you get out of the funk, the quicker you're going to get to the yeses. And then there's more yeses that follow, because then you're not so in your head about it. So that probably was kind of redundant, but that was super helpful for me to just be able to separate emotion from it and like stop overthinking and getting all worked up and in my head about all of the people that have not shown and whatever before now, when in reality, it's just a numbers game. Like, it's as simple as that. The more people that you book, you're not going to get no's for eternity. The more appointments that you book, the more chances you have at yes. And the more chances you have to get out of your funk sooner, because you got a yes, and you're going to feel better about that going forward. So hope that helps. I'm no stranger to the funk. I totally get it, but just keep going.
Hey y'all, Danielle Lyford here, direct to Jared Lyford, who's direct to Aaron Gutterman, and then to Art Leeser. I'm at 5 applications, over 7,600 AP for the week. And so this past Saturday, so Saturdays is when my weeks begin. I was on the live dials 8 to 12, and at Nashville, it was rainy and gloomy that day. And I was like, after these live dials, I am not going outside. The weather is so bad. I have decided to stay in and work and invest in myself. So during the live dials, I was looking for same day set, and I found a couple that could meet me later in the afternoon. And so I met with them. I made a friend like I do with all of my clients. I always say, dial until you find your person. And, you know, it's a numbers game, you know? And so basically when you find that person and you serve them and make sure that they're better than when you found them, they will trust you and they will become a friend. And so that's what I did on Saturday afternoon. And an hour later, not only did I make a friend, but I made over $3,000, where people are at home on social media scrolling or at brunch or shopping on Saturdays. That's a temporary fix. I'm looking for longevity. And so Danielle, and maybe I'm just a rare breed, I want to be working and investing in my future. That's what we have on Saturdays. So y'all, if you're not working on Saturdays, like, you're just canceling out half of your production, because people are at home, they're ready to buy. And not only will you set yourself up for success in the beginning of the week, but you could do same day sets and work even on Sundays. I choose not to work on Sundays, but you know, you could work the weekend, and you know, you will see such an amazing outcome in your business and in your AP just working on the weekends. So that was my week. I love what I get to do. It definitely is joy and purpose, and I love all the clients that I get to help. And really, Jared and I, we're just living. It's not work anymore. We're finding our purpose, and our purpose is joy and love and helping and serving clients. And the return just comes back double and triple. And that will be for you. Just get that work ethic in, stay consistent, and you'll find it. Have a great week.
Hey GT family, VP Nelson Alvarez coming at you live from Syracuse, New York. I am direct to Aaron Gutterman, who's direct to Art Leeser, and I'd like to briefly share with you how I'm maintaining the top 5 status since late June, early July. I've been doing it every week, whether it's 1 or 5, somewhere in there. I want to make sure my business is in the top 5. So let me share with you what I'm doing. Back in May, I made a decision of what I was going to do and set a goal. I talked with Aaron, we formulated a plan, and I've been executing the same thing every week. It's really stems from the diversification of my lead intake. I decided I wanted to get better in some areas. I wanted to improve in some of the areas I had been doing consistent and get better. But mainly I wanted to expand the number of leads I was getting in different areas. See, prior to this influx of new lead systems, we were primarily using a GMR, direct mail system, and we were dialing from age leads, and of course, referrals and warm market. But I knew that with the change of economy, change of season, back to school, sometimes we get an influx of our leads, so I wanted to get better at the ones I wasn't using. So let me give you an idea of where my applications came from. I did a total of 17 apps for 19,028. That's pretty impressive. Well, I set a goal to do 20K this week. I fell short. Every week. I wanted to do 10K weeks. I was doing 9,000 and change every week. But guess what? Even falling short of my goals, I was better than I had ever been because of what I'm doing. So here's a breakdown of where my applications came from. I had 1 from warm market. I had 2 from conversions. Conversions are sales that I did 2 years ago or more that were termed that now I'm offering the opportunity to turn into whole life. So I had 1 warm market, 2 conversions, 2 from direct mail platinum leads. That's a considerable drop from what I used to get. 5 from TLG-4s, 50-cent age leads, 3-year-old leads, and 7 from live dials. See, I knew that if I got more live dials in, that would create more time for me to work on the other areas. So back in June, I really dug into live dials to get better at it, because I knew that would create more time in July for me to focus on getting better at conversions. In the month of September, I'm going to be hitting game time leads. So I'm expanding every month just a little bit. That's how I'm doing it, guys. I'm making sure I diversify my lead sources, get better, and program myself to work just in those areas for that week, that 2 weeks, until I improve. That's it. That's all I want to share with you. Good luck. I hope next week I can see some of you in the top 5.